Alrighty. Hello everybody. I'm going to go through who I can see on my end and just tell us who you are, and that's it. Just tell us who you are. I'm going to start with Candace Jackson.
Hello, my name is Candice. I'm 17 years old. I served as one of the dancers for Miss Phyllis Tucker, the Black History Month shows in February, as well as the Juneteenth of Freeman, those episodes as well. And we just did a showcase for a church anniversary back in March, I believe. So I will be a future Juneteenth ambassador.
All right, thank you. Next, it doesn't have a name. It says iPhone. I don't know whose that is. But can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Kay Newsom. I'm a National Juneteenth Ambassador. I'm 14.
Okay, next will be Edwin.
Hi, I'm Edwin. I'm 15 and I am an ambassador.
Next is Jerry Ellis.
My name is Jerry Carmona, and I am an NJA junior in high school.
Next it says iPhone as well. I don't know who that is either.
My name is Rajini Lesing, and I am a National Juneteenth Ambassador, and I'm 11.
Thank you. And the next one will be Shania, if I said that right.
Yes, you said it right. My name is Shania, and I've done the Black History shows as a dancer.
Alrighty. And then we'll get to our presenters later. As you see, there's other people on here. We'll get to them later. But it's on you, Pastor.
Okay, so with that being said, want to welcome everybody. I want to thank you for jumping on. Some of the ambassadors will probably be hopping on a little later, but in the meantime, we know that everybody's time is valuable. So thank you for recording this particular segment. Sanaya, I'm going to go ahead and open us up with prayer. And as I pray, I'm just asking that all of you all please focus your mind on Christ at this time. Please bow your head so we can give reverence. Thank you so much. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come to you before the throne of grace with a bowed head and a humble heart, we're asking for your guidance and wisdom as we continue to press our way on this Juneteenth journey for continued wisdom and knowledge. Help us to align our goals with your will, trusting and knowing that you have the perfect plan for our lives. Bless this meeting and everyone in attendance, along with their families, in a mighty way. We're claiming the victory over all of our enemies in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. And at this time, I'm going to turn the floor back over to Sanaya, and everybody knows she is our nation's first inaugural Miss Juneteenth Queen. So take it away, Sanaya.
Alrighty, everyone. So as you see, today is something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about HBCU life and experience. This will be the Beyond the Narrative Show episode 3. And if you haven't seen the previous ones, they're on YouTube under Sanaya's Gems, and you can see other things we've learned about or workshops and stuff and anything of that matter. But today we're going to talk about historical Black colleges and universities. So, what is an HBCU? Congress defines HBCUs as accredited institutions of higher education that were founded before 1964 and have a primary mission to educate black students. However, not all students who attend HBCUs today are black. Prior to the Civil War, higher education opportunities were virtually non-existent for nearly all black Americans. A few HBCUs were founded before the Civil War, but many more were established between 1867 and 1990 to provide educational opportunities for Black Americans, including formerly enslaved people. And also, this is just a quick, little sidebar of something that I never knew. And being at a HBCU, something I've learned is that majority of all HBCUs are built on plantations. Never knew that, but that is something I learned later down the line of attending an HBCU. So if you didn't know, now you know. Um, some HBCUs arose in response to the Second Morrill Act in 1890, which required states to admit Black Americans to their existing institutions or provide funding for new institutions that would serve them. These HBCUs, along with other institutions founded through similar legislation, are called land grant institutions. Lastly, HBCUs can be either public or private institutions. In fact, the 99 HBCUs in existence in 2022 were almost evenly divided between 50 public and private 49 schools. Most HBCUs are four-year institutions that mainly award bachelor's degrees. But you can get an associate's at HBCUs. You could do 2 years, and then you can transfer or stay or continue however you decide to do that. So I'm not gonna go through every school because there are so many of them, but I'm just gonna point out some of them. The school I went to is the only HBCU in Delaware, which is Delaware State University. Um, I know a lot of you live in Florida, there's Bethune-Cookman, Edward Waters, Florida A&M, which is the most popular one, and Florida Memorial University. Some other ones, if you're looking to try in Georgia, they have Spelman, Morehouse, Morris Brown, Savannah State, Clark Atlanta. Those are some of the popular ones. And the main ones that everybody really wants to go to are in Louisiana, as you can see, which is here, which is Dillard University, Grambling State, Southern University, and A&M College. Southern University, there's two Southern universities. There's a New Orleans and a Shreveport, and then there's another Southern University Law Center, and then there's Xavier University. And then there's also some ones closer to where Delaware is, which is also popular, Bowie State, Compton State, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and Morgan State. And then here's some other ones. The other like popular ones that's in North Carolina, such as Benedict College. They have Johnson C. Smith University, North Carolina A&T, Shaw University. And then in PA, they have Cheney University and Lincoln University. And Cheney is actually the first HBCU to ever be founded. And then Lincoln University came after that. But they always battle who's the first. There's also some in Washington, D.C., such as Howard University, which is also a popular one. They have in Virginia, Hampton University, which is a private HBCU. They have Norfolk State, and then they have Virginia State University. And then they have some in the islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, which is down here. You can see that. They have University of Virgin Islands, and then in St. Thomas and St. Croix, which is pretty cool. So this is just some Florida HBCU history. So we're going to start off with Bethune-Cookman. In October 3rd of 1904, an exceptional young Black woman, Mary McLeod Bethune, and if you didn't know, I was the first vice president of the National Council of Negro Women here at Delaware State University. So she is very near and dear to my heart. She opened the Daytona Literary and Industrial Training School of Negro Girls, what would become Bethune-Cookman University, with $1.50 faith in God and 5 little girls, along with Dr. Bethune's son, Albert. The merger of the two schools began in 1923 and was finalized in 1925. The merged institution was called the Daytona Cookman Collegiate Institute. In 1931, the college became accredited by the Association of Colleges and Secondary Schools of the Southern States as a junior college. And on April 27th of that year, the school's name was officially changed to Bethune-Cookman College to reflect the leadership of Dr. Bethune. Next is Edward Waters University, which was founded in 1866 by members of the African Methodist Episcopal AME Church. Edward Waters Edward Waters University, formerly Edward Waters College, is the state of Florida's first independent institution of higher learning and Florida's first institution established to educate African Americans. Edward Waters College, EWC, is an institution founded by African Americans for African Americans. In 1865, following the Civil War, the Reverend Charles H. Pierce, a presiding elder of the AME Church, was sent to Florida by Bishop Daniel Alexander Payne. Observing the fast-paced social and political changes of the Reconstruction era, Rev. Pierce immediately recognized the need for an education ministry. No provision had yet been made for this public education of Florida's newly emancipated African Americans. Assisted by Reverend William G. Stewart, the first AME pastor in Florida, Pierce began raising funds to build a school. Next will be Florida A&M University. Every university has a story, but few have a history as unique and impressive as ours. For more than 130 years, Florida A&M University has served the citizens of the state of Florida and the nation through its provision of preeminent educational programs that were the building blocks of a legacy of academic excellence with caring. FAMU, Florida's Opportunity University, is committed to meeting challenges and needs of future generations. Lastly is Florida Memorial University, a private co-educational and Baptist affiliated institution that has the distinction of being one of the oldest academic centers in the state and the only historical Black university in South Florida. In 1879, members of the Bethlehem Baptist Association founded the school, then called Florida Baptist Institute in Live Oak, to create a college of instruction for our ministers and children. The Reverend J.L.A. Fish was its first president. Despite a promising start, racial tension soon cast a shadow over the institute. In April 1892, after unknown persons fired shots into one of the school's buildings, then President Rev. Matthew Gilbert and other staff members fled Live Oak from Jacksonville, where he founded the Florida Baptist Academy in the basement of Bethel Baptist Church. They began holding classes in May 1892 with Sarah Ann Blocker as the main instructor. The school in Live Oak, however, continued to operate even after splintering. Now we're going to go into our two speakers for the day. We're going to start with alumna DessiRae Ingram, who attended Delaware State University.
Hi, everyone. My name is DessiRae Ingram. I am a recent alum of Delaware State University. I majored in social work. And while I was on campus, I was a part of a couple different organizations. I was president and sister rep of the National Council of Negro Women, which was founded by Mary McLeod Bethune in 1935. I also served as president and vice president of the Social Work Council. And I also was general member of other organizations. I was a part of a Big Sister, Little Sister program through an organization called Women's Senate, and things like that. My journey at DSU was definitely impactful. I would definitely recommend everyone go to a HBCU. It's definitely life-changing. I learned so much about myself, about the culture, and, and I need to grow into an amazing woman. I was able to network and just really put myself out there in a different light because I went to a HBCU. So I think that if you're considering going to college, you should definitely look at historically Black colleges because these are safe spaces set up to allow you to thrive in who you are and really find your passion and what you're excited to do. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go into our next speaker, who is Darius Elliott, and he also attends Delaware State University.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Darius Elliott. I'm currently upcoming senior at Delaware State University. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I came to DSU as a kid that really wanted to find himself playing sports. Um, End up not playing sports. What I did from there is I became very big in an organization called the God Brothers. Um, and I became one of the biggest advocates with community service and outreaching and networking. Then from there, I became Mr. Sophomore. As Mr. Sophomore, I did a lot of different events, catering to the student body, also bringing more events and connections to the state, to Delaware State University. And then this past year, I was on the Delaware State University's SGA Student Government Association as the recording secretary. So I was the one that was able to go to all the big meetings with the higher ups of the school and a school president, um, and also be able to be the representation and the spokesperson for the student body. From there, go back into my sophomore year, I joined a fraternity called Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. From there, I was one of the undergrad reps, and also I'm on the board of directors for our chapter, which Keeper Finance. So I control all like the money and things like that. And then from now this summer, I'm a DC fellow for Thurgood Marshall College Fund, which I'll be in DC the whole summer, involving with that, working with criminal justice reform. My major is political science, so I want to be a politician. But my experience on at HBCU is connecting and responding. Reason I say that is because going to HBCU, you're going to meet a lot of people. I got once told by one of my mentors that use your phone as an outreach. So by the time you graduate college, your phone will be $1 million phone where you can call anybody for anything. Um, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I live off that every time I go somewhere. Anytime I speak to other people, speak to a group of kids like you guys, or even go to an event, I always try to get connections. Where as though when I go on my phone, I can speak to anybody. I know anybody for anything that I might need within that perspective. And then from there, that's just how I live my life. Even Sanaya comes to me and asks me, be like, "Hey, I know you got a connection for something." So I would say HBCU always is a big thing and probably a very powerful thing for the next steps within your life period.
Okay, thank you. And that's just some of our HBCUs students to tell you what it's like to join an HBCU. And I can say that joining an HBCU is definitely life-changing. You get a lot of opportunities. You meet a lot of different people. As you heard Darius say, I'm always calling him to see what's going on because some things you might not know, but the next person do know. So you ask your fellow, students around you, your fellow friends around you, what's going on in the state? Is there any jobs or any internships or just volunteering opportunities? Because it's out there. You just never know what the next person may know. Next, we're going to go into some scholarship resources. So I know there's some of you guys on here who said y'all are like juniors in high school or just in high school in general. If you're a junior, even if you're a sophomore in high school, now is the time to start looking into grants and scholarships, or also looking into which college best fits you. And I provided this slide so you can see, what to look for, some tips on when you're doing scholarships and grants. So I'm going to start on my left side. The best websites to find grants and scholarships is UNCF, United Negro College Fund, and TMCF, the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. TMCF is very, adamant on applying for scholarships. I know at Delaware State University, I know at Delaware State University, they have a lot of ambassadors at our school who's trying to help students out to get those scholarships. Darius is part of TMCF as well, with trying to push those things out. Um, but we're going to go to the right-hand side on tips for applying. For the first bullet point, you want to start early. Begin researching and applying for scholarships as early as possible during your junior year and senior years of high school. Next is tailor your applications. Customize each application to match the scholarship's goals and criteria. Use the scholarship description to highlight your relevant experience, values, and achievements. If this Juneteenth ambassadorship program should be on your resumes, your applications, whatever, even if it's for a summer job or a camping job or whatever. Even when you join, when you go to college and you're part of those organizations, you want to have those on your resumes. Even if you're in college and you did some things in high school like cheering, or if you was class president or something, you still want to add those to your resume. I mean, of course, you're going to tackle some things down as you grow, but you still want, as of right now, because you're still in high school, add those to your resume or your applications. It's just like a job, but you're applying for money so you can afford college. Next, you want to look locally and broadly. While national scholarships are great, local scholarships often have less competition and can be easier to win. I'm pretty sure in Florida there's a bunch of scholarships, especially because y'all have one of the most popular universities, Florida A&M. So I'm pretty sure there are scholarships you can apply for. Next is gather strong references. References, ask for recommendation letters from teachers, mentors, and employers who know you well and can speak to your strengths. Pastor Tucker on here has wrote recommendations for me a lot. So if you need them, she's a perfect person to go to. And she knows y'all just like she knows me. So it's going to be easy for her to do. Just make sure you stay on your P's and Q's so she'll be able to write it, because those are hard to get. um, Lastly, avoid scams and apply often. Never pay to apply for scholarships. Apply for as many scholarships and grants that you are eligible for. If you have to pay for a scholarship, 9 times out of 10 it's a scam. They're just trying to get money off of you and you're never going to get that back. But when you apply for scholarships, do your research. Make sure this is something that other students are looking at. And like I said, even though there's some broadly, there's some locally, those are easier to get, but there's also different types of scholarships. They have, just because you're Black, you get a scholarship. Just because you were on a cheer team, you get a scholarship. Just because you have brown hair, I don't know. Like, there's different types of scholarships out there that you can apply to, that you can be eligible for. Some HBCU resources. To hear more information and details about HBCUs, look on HBCU First, which offers mentorship programs and leadership development opportunities. There are organizations on campuses such as Greek Life, as Darius said, he's part of a Greek fraternity. There's campus clubs and organizations. NCNW, National Council of Negro Women, is a campus organization, but they also have other ones. Like at my school, they have a nursing organization. They have a mass comm organization. They have I don't know, they have dance organizations and things that you probably couldn't even think of. They got it at HBCUs. They have Black College Ministries. Like at my school, we have a Forced Ministries organization, and you don't have to pay to be a part of it. Literally, you just show up and you're part of the ministry there, and join the group me. And you get all of the updates of what's going on. They send scriptures in there all the time. You can send a testimony. You can send a prayer request, whatever you need. Force Ministries has it. To learn more about that research, the color or university of your choice, and look to see what they offer and what's active. So why should you choose an HBCU? I know some of our speakers kind of really said it. They went more in depth about it, but why you should choose an HBCU is because attending an HBCU offers students a unique educational experience rooted in cultural heritage and academic excellence. HBCUs were founded with a mission for African Americans to have better opportunity at receiving higher education, with a strong emphasis on leadership, service, and cultural identity. HBCUs pressure students not to only excel in their careers, but also to make meaningful contributions to society. Next is, in addition to their rich legacy, HBCUs offer a supportive and empowering community that enhances both personal and academic growth. These institutions also produce a proportionate number of Black professionals in a field such as medicine, law, and education, so showcasing their role as incubators for success. Through vibrant campus life, active alumni networks, and deep sense of tradition, HBCUs create a lifelong bond that extends far beyond graduation. And when you come, I feel like this is any college, but I can tell you, HBCU specifically, you do have lifelong bonds even after college. And Desi, she, me and this girl really wrote it out these last 3 years together. I mean, we have other friends, but NCNW really brought us together. And then Darius, I've known him since middle school, so Dell State really helped form a strong bond with a lot of my friends that I have till this day. And through them, we help each other out with internships, jobs, getting through college, with assignments, do they need help with, or we just play around and say, hey, you want to do my assignment for me? No, we playing, but just to put some smiles on our faces just to get through the day. And that is the end of Beyond the Narrative episode 3. Thank you all for watching. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat or feel free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day. I love talking to y'all.
Thank you.
I
You
want to just say I want to thank our special guest that came on today. And one of the things that I do want the young people to know and to understand is that you may be the baddest thing walking in your hometown. But when you get on an HBCU campus or any campus, you need to understand that the baddest thing walking is coming from everywhere. They're coming from Delaware, they're coming from Pennsylvania, they're coming from New York, they're coming from Daytona, they're coming from everywhere. So even though you may have been the most popular student at your school, you may have been the baddest thing in Tampa, Florida, when you go off to college, your competition begins all over again. And I think that's very, very interesting for you all to know. That's knowledge that needs to resonate in your head because I know a lot of my ambassadors on here. You do a lot of dancing, and you probably think you're the toughest dancer going. But when you go to school, college, you're gonna find that they have tough dancers as well, and your competition starts all over again. So please keep in mind that the information that they are giving you is extremely, extremely powerful. So when you leave, you graduate from high school, you're on a whole nother level. So I don't know if you may have questions, and this is a good time to ask.
Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or Darius. He's still on here. We're pretty open people. We'll tell you what it is and what it's like at HBCUs or Dell State. We're not going to hold back because our experience was our experience. And I believe that as students in this time of need now, you should ask and you should know what's going on about attending an HBCU or college period. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask now.
I don't want to be the one to hog up all the questions, but I would like it because I think this is very significant. I don't know if anybody on here because there's so much narrative going on about pledging on campus. I just wanted to know if Darius would want to enlighten us a little bit about the pledging. I'm not sure if anybody's interested that's on here already, but if you could just say a few words about pledging and because it does have some negative connotation for some people. Okay, I think Darius has left the building. So with that being said, if there are any questions, please raise your hand at this time. Because if not, I'm going to give Sanaya one last time to.
We're gonna get him back. Hold on. I think his phone died. Yeah, his phone did die. Sorry.
In the meantime, did anybody have any questions?
Anybody want to ask anything? I mean, Pastor, you want to ask them just in case they too scared to ask?
Well, I do know that I've had some personal conversations with a couple of people on here about the pledging. That's why I wanted him to address it since he's already a member of a fraternity. I'm not sure if there are any other questions. I do encourage you that when you do go on, because I have an HBCU experience as well. And of course, I know things have changed since my time in school, but there are some things that still remain intact. For instance, I actually worked on campus. I did the mail room. It was the best job you could probably have on campus because all you had to do was report at a certain time. You got paid to the mail room, and all you had to do was just give students their mail that was coming into, coming in from outside. So that may be something that you may be interested in is working on campus. But I think that the presentation was very significant today, particularly and powerful, particularly when you spoke about the experiences that you have on the campus. And when Darius talked about the connections, you get a lot of connections.
He
So,
he just joined. Darius.
so
She wants to. Well, go ahead. It's your question. It's not my question.
So, Darius, I have a couple of people on here that that may be interested in maybe pledging when they get to college. And because you have that experience, because we already know that there's some negative talk about pledging, there's positive talk about pledging. But is there anything that you can shed some light on to give our young people a better understanding as to what pledging is about?
Okay, that's a great question. Sorry, my phone cut off. I don't know what happened. But pledging was probably one of the best things I've done because of like the connections and the opportunities that I got presented um, as a man and other men that's within the fraternity that I'm a part of. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat and tell everyone it's easy to go ahead and join a fraternity. It's all peaches and cream because it's not. You got to know your information. You got to understand. You got to gain those connections to be able to join a fraternity. Period. Um, like I said, from when I first started talking, the biggest things now was me getting those connections, right? I gained those connections in order to be able to become a Q and meet the other brothers that's on the campus and understand what the fraternity is about. Also doing your research and uh, being a positive role model that you see. Like you also want to be able to, not saying everyone does it, but a lot of the dudes seeing the things that I do on campus or the things that I did before I came on campus as a as an advocate of someone that want to make change and do something bigger with themselves, right? Another thing I can shed a light on is like the service that we do. We got 12 mandated programs that we do every year. We have something really big called Achievement Week that we acknowledge people from the community, young youth that's doing the thing, and different things in that perspective to allow us to showcase others, not just our own. Right? We do a lot, as me and my brother, we do a lot on campus that allow us to do community service, help everybody that's on other organizations that's on campus. We do a lot of different fundraisers. Even this past year, we won, because you were an undergrad. So we won undergrad chapter of the year within our district, just because of the service and the opportunities that we did. Um, we had the 100 men thing that they just started with our fraternity where we give 100 glasses and donate money to St. Jude. Children's Hospital. Another thing we did was we donated shoes. One of the programs that I'm going to start on my own, and I started from speaking to some of my brothers within the fraternity, is I wear suits every day. I want to be a politician. So um, I'm from the hood part of Wilmington. So my goal is to give back to some of the young boys that's in my neighborhood with suits and ties and dress shoes and dress shirts, and get them to understand that it's okay to dress up, it's okay to be fancy, um, and it's okay to be professional, because you're not going to be able to get any of these opportunities without being professional. So that's my light on it. That's a great question. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay, ambassadors, you got an opportunity to ask questions.
Well, there's no questions. That's all for tonight. I thank you all for being on here and stay tuned for episode 4. If you want to view this presentation, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow. And tomorrow's a holiday, so you have time to view it and to share it. And thank you guys for
So,
joining.
so now, your one thing, do you have a question for anybody that you want to do a quick giveaway or no?
Um,
It's up to you.
I can quiz them on what we just learned.
Okay, I don't know how you're going to do that. What is
Okay,
it? First hand up? First hand up?
first
How
hand
you
up
going to do
or
it?
whoever gets it right in the chat. So we're gonna do a quick little trivia. You can raise your hand or put it in the chat. I'm pretty sure some of y'all want to put it in the chat because I know how.
No chat.
Up,
The
she said
chat, everybody
chat.
will be doing everything at the same time. Nope, just let them raise their hand. First hand up.
All right. Well, whoever gets it right, you'll win a prize. I'm not giving you a prize. Pastor Tucker will be giving the prize, but I'm gonna ask you a question based off of what we learned today. Um, let me think. I don't know if you can remember this. What was the first founded HBCU? And you have 10 seconds. 10. Yes, Edwin?
Wait, I think it was Edward Waters.
No, sir. It's not in Florida. I'll tell you that. It's not in Florida. Yes, Michaela?
Is it in Pennsylvania?
Yes, it is. Which one?
I think it's like I don't I don't know. I remember it started with a C.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Cheney.
Yes, ding, ding, ding. You got it right.
So Michaela can drop her she can drop her thing in the her app in the chat, and she is our winner for tonight. And we thank you so much.
Alrighty, once she sends that,
Or she can send it to me. That's fine too.
she just sent it in the chat.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, that's a
Alrighty,
wrap.
everyone. That's a wrap, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you guys. Good night.